welcome. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I'm Heena Gambhir. Viewers, in a big twist in the 2008 Malegaon blast case, a sinister conspiracy has come to fore to frame RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. It is a former ATS insider who has spilled the beans one day after special NIA court in Mumbai acquitted all 7 accused in the case. Now, this former ATS officer is Mahbub Mujawar, who was once part of Maharashtra ATS probe in the Malegaon case. Now, he has claimed that he was given direct orders to arrest RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. He further reveals that Maharashtra ATS under Parambir Singh's orders had hatched a plot to do something really bad and sinister with Mohan Bhagwat. Now, he also has claimed that 2 RSS workers, Ram Chandra Kalsangra and Sandeep Dange, who in the records are still mentioned as absconding accused, were in fact killed in custody. Listen in to what he told Times Now.
मोहन भागवत जी को उन्होंने मेरे को अरेस्ट करके पकड़ के लाने को बोला था और ये सब ऑन रिकॉर्ड था, पूरा रिकॉर्ड पे था, मगर वो लोग बता रहे थे कि ये एटीएस में है नहीं। लिखित में आदेश था, मेरे को रिवॉल्वर दिया गया था, सर्विस सीक्रेट फंड से मेरे को पैसे देके काम के लिए भेजा था और रोज मैं उनको सुबह शाम दोपहर उनको उनके इसके अंदर रह के उनके मार्गदर्शन में काम कर रहा था मैं। और उन्होंने मेरे को संकट में डाला, इसलिए डाला कि मैंने उनका झूठ काम नहीं किया।
Now remember viewers, it was the Congress government both at the center and in Maharashtra at the time when this alleged conspiracy was hatched. The opposition leaders, however, are dismissing the claims of former ATS insider, asking why did he wait for so many years to make these revelations. In fact, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis says that ploy to smear RSS and Hindutva has been exposed.
2008 का षड्यंत्र है, ये सभी के सामने अब खुल चुका है। हिंदुत्ववादी और राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के अधिकारी पदाधिकारी, इनको टारगेट करने का ये षड्यंत्र था, लेकिन बहुत जद्दोजहद करने के बावजूद उनके खिलाफ कोई भी पुख्ता सबूत नहीं मिल पाया।
ऐसे अफसर को गिरफ्तार करके जेल में भेजना चाहिए, समझ गए? या तो आप में दम होता उस वक्त बोलते हैं। आर.के. सिंह होम सेक्रेटरी थे, सारी घटनाक्रम के रचनाकार आर.के. सिंह बरी हुए, सारे के सारे आर.के. सिंह की वजह से 2014 में 27 ही भगवा कर करके वो सत्ता लेकर के आगे। लेकिन आज देश को खड़ा कहां कर दिया तुमने भाई? इन नफरतों से निकल करके बाहर देश की तरफ देखिए, कारोबार बंद हो रहे हैं, रोजगार तबाह हो रहे हैं। अगर टाटा जैसी कंपनी भी 12-12 हजार लोगों को निकाल रही है तो स्थिति भयावह है।
But Times Now viewers has accessed the 2009 interrogation report in which Mahbub Mujawar had put the exact same claim on record. Yes, Mahbub in fact had told the interrogators that he was given a verbal order which was confidential in nature. The order was to go and get Mohan Bhagwat, but he refused to comply with the order, saying it was illegal. Mujawar further claims that because he refused to carry out this unlawful directive, he was later falsely implicated in cases of torture and illegal detention. And viewers, this interrogation report is based on a case that was filed against him in the year 2009. And this, viewers, leads us to the question, was there a political hand behind this secret order? Let me straight away go across to my colleague Tejshri, who's joining us live for more on this. Tejshri, this is sensational because in this exclusive conversation with Times Now, he had also claimed that he did mention all these details in a document. He did write them down in 2009, and we have that document for our viewers today.
Well, absolutely, Heena. In the interview with Times Now, this particular ex-ATS officer spilled all the beans. Not just that, but now Times Now has also accessed the interrogation report where, in fact, he mentions about why and how he was asked to go and get RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. Bhagwat, number one. Number two, in the interrogation, he was asked that why the witnesses are coming out and giving witness and evidence against him. So there he mentions it is just because the reason that in the year 2009, he was asked to go and get Mohan Bhagwat, and those were the verbal orders, those were the illegal orders, and that's why he could not go and get him, because it was above the law, it was against the constitution, it was against the laws, and that's what it is mentioned in the interrogation note. That is why in fact he is being implicated in the false case, is
right.
What he mentions. But the question over here remains that if it's mentioned in the interrogation note, then why did the government not take a note of it? Why there was no further action on it? Why there was no probe on it when such kind of, even if it was a claim, then why there was no investigation on it? Why there was no probe, why there was not a committee formed so as to how he has been saying, and who was that particular ATS officer who had asked him to go and get RSS chief? Back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tejshri, for the moment, for joining us and getting us all those exclusive details. Let me now welcome my guests who are joining us on the broadcast this evening. We have with us RP Singh, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Desh Ratan Nigam, who is a lawyer, Advocate Umair Junaidi, who is a political analyst. We are also joined by Sakshana Salgar, National Spokesperson of the NCP, the Sharad Pawar faction. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. Advocate Umair Junaidi, I want to ask you, Mr. Imran Masood of the Congress Party had raised a very crucial and a very interesting point. Such officers should be arrested and sent to jail. If you have the courage, you should have spoken about it then. He did speak about it. He did write it down, but nothing really was done.
First of all, the information, the statement by the ex-ATS official is really shocking, and to me what more shocking is the fact that the chronology of the news, the chronology of the events going on since 2-3 days, wherein Amit Shah stands in the parliament and talks about there is no Hindu terrorism, Hindu cannot be a terrorist, and then the Malegaon verdict, and then this officer coming on the ex-officer coming on the record and saying about this. I don't think so. There is a conspiracy which is hidden now. It is the agenda of BJP.
Advocate Umair Junaidi, you still have not answered my direct question. आप हमें chronology मत समझाइए, because the country is looking at the chronology, country is understanding the chronology as well. Let's talk about facts today. So you first answer my direct question. I read out to you I read out to you exactly what Mr. Imran Masood, a Congress MP, had to say, and several others have also raised the same point. So I'm asking you again. The point of the Congress party today was, after listening to this insider, that such officers should be arrested and sent to jail. If you have the courage, you should have spoken about it then.
Definitely.
Isn't it a slap on the face of these Congress leaders?
No. If that officer who comes
he did speak about it. He did write. You just heard my colleague Tejshri giving all the details.
Only once. So
what happened?
Since 2009, where were he? What was he doing?
Oh.
Just interrogation and that's it.
RP Singh, will you like to respond? First, Congress party's problem was he never spoke about it earlier. Now when we have told them, when we have shown the proof for our viewers also, that he did mention everything that he's told us today back in 2009, but nothing really was done. And now Mr. Junaidi is telling us after that he could have spoken. Fantastic. Shifting the goalpost there. RP Singh, please respond.
Then by that parameter, GK Pillai, then the Home Secretary should also be questioned. Why did he spoke later on after he was not the Home Secretary, after he quitted as the Home Secretary? So did Mr. R.V. Mani, then the official in the Home Ministry, has categorically stated that he was tortured by putting cigarette butts on him and was forced to change the statements. So this is all on record. So it's not only Mahbub Muzaffar who has said so. So it's the other officers who are also on record. But let's understand the bigger conspiracy. The bigger conspiracy was to put the ideology of Hindu nationalists in dock so that they can keep because of the political objectives to win elections. Remember what did Obama said? Did I interrupt it? what did Obama said in his book about Manmohan Singh ji? After 26/11, he went ahead with the attack on Pakistan because he felt that nationalist forces will have their say in the coming elections. So it was that nationalism should not win, but their point of view of creating hate against nationalism should prevail.
Okay. Advocate Umair Junaidi, I think you wanted to respond. Quick rebuttal, then I'll go across to Mr. Deshratan Nigam.
This is the conspiracy of BJP which have been started since few days ago.
What about the conspiracy that began soon after 2008 Malegaon blast? No answers on the conspiracy that began, how that entire narrative has been demolished by the NIA court's order yesterday?
Since 2014 is BJP in the power. What was BJP doing? What was this Mehboob Mujawar was doing? What was the other officers
Deshratan Nigam, I want you to come into this debate at this point and explain to our viewers. Do you think that this has perhaps opened a Pandora's box and it's just going to get complicated from here on, something that Congress leaders will also have to answer, because there is a lot that has been said, by this ex-ATS officer, an insider in this particular case. While we thought yesterday it was, how the order came out from this special NIA court, all 7 accused were acquitted. But now what this insider has told us is quite shocking. Don't you think this needs to be investigated as to who were the people, who were these political masters really, who did not want the truth to come out, who were pressurizing witnesses as well, who were pressurizing people like him to name certain individuals in the RSS, including Mohan Bhagwat?
Heena ji, in fact, this sinister conspiracy, as you already pointed out, is of Frankenstein proportion. And the way they have tried to use a Muslim officer to arrest Bhagwat ji, there was a clear intention on the part of the then government, both in the state and center, to create communal disharmony in the society. This clearly points out, but thanks to this particular officer who clearly refused, and also in 2009 put it on record. It is on record. And since the matter is sub judice, the matter was in court, nobody could do anything. The fact remains, he has again, after the verdict was given, his stand is vindicated. The fact remains that his career was destroyed. A false case was hoisted on him, and he's on record saying that his 40 years career was destroyed. The reputation that he had earned in the police. A very sinister plan. And you can see the chain of events of the Congress. Every now and then Congress MPs use the name of RSS. Every second, whatever, if they want to divert anything, they will bring up the name of RSS. This is something very sinister and needs to be investigated. The people who were there at that point of time needs to be punished and taken to task. A high-level committee should be constituted, both at the level of CBI or NIA, because it appears to be an international conspiracy also, where there could be wires linked to the other nations. Please understand. No, I did not speak. Advocate Sahab, in court, nobody speaks together. Let us speak one by one. That's the minimum courtesy I expect from an advocate. Therefore, please understand. So, and if anybody has read the bail order from the Supreme Court of Sadhvi Pragya, you would know the immense amount of torture that was committed. Advocate Saab, go and please read that order. It is a voluminous order. Her spine suffered. She was unable to walk. For so many days, she went without food. Please understand. Please read Supreme Court order of the bail of Sadhvi Pragya. You will understand the amount of torture she was committed to, but she refused to succumb to the pressure. All hats off to her. Please understand that.
Even this officer, Deshratan Nigamji, refused to succumb to the pressure. That's what he told us. He went to Nagpur. He was just killing his time there because he thought perhaps it was wrong what he was being asked to do. But how would you like to respond to the point that Advocate Umair Junaidi had made earlier, wherein he first, of course, tried to suggest that, it is the BJP government, the NDA that is in power since 2014. So why nothing was done if he had given it on record way back in 2009? How will you like to respond?
See, the fact is, when the matter is sub judice and has been taken note of,
no government wants to interfere in it, whether it is Congress or state government or the central governments, because everything is in court, all evidence is in court, charge sheets have been filed later by the NIA. The NIA came into the picture, that things were brought on record and the charges were filed, but no charges struck to all these accused. The fact remains, now is the time when the verdict has come from the court to constitute a high-level committee and to bring to task the people who were involved at that point of time, whosoever high it may be, but they have to be taken to task.
Okay, Advocate Umair Junaidi, I think you've now got your answer.
What he was speaking is like no government wants to interrupt in this sub judice matter. Sir, the investigation process, what allegation is made is the investigation was forced. What allegation he's making is of the government forced him to frame somebody unnecessary, and this is not a very normal charge, sir. If that was the force, which government would be keeping themselves out of this matter?
But if the matter is in court, how can the government intervene, sir? Then you will accuse the government of intervening while the matter is sub judice. I mean, isn't it a bizarre argument? You're an advocate yourself. I expected a better argument from you, Mr. Junaidi.
That's what I'm saying, Heena. If there is the force over the investigation, if there is tampering of the evidences or pressurizing some officials, he would have been in the court. He would have said it in the court. He was silent at that time. Since 2008, the case was going on.
2009, he put it on record. He was not silent.
2009 ke baad kya? After what? After 2009, what happened? 10, 11, 12, 19, 20, 24. It was government of BJP since 10 years. 2014 to till today. It is BJP. Why he has not been into the appeared in front of the court?
Your Congress government was vindictive towards him. False cases were hoisted against him.
Okay, let us assume 2014 it was government. It was Congress government. What about 2014? Whose government it was?
Okay, well, I think Advocate Junaidi, today your arguments are quite weak and you're just shifting the goalpost. You're just shifting the goalpost with every answer. Mr. R.P. Singh also wanted to respond. Yes, Mr. R.P. Singh, go ahead.
Well, Advocate Saab, Sharad Pawar admitted in June 2017 that he created another blast. I mean, there was no blast, there were only 12 blasts, but he added another blast, starting to balance out the Hindu-Muslim part. So, whom shall we hold responsible? The blast happened in 1993. It took him, what, 7 plus 17, 24 years to admit that.
And why is there absolute silence from these top Congress leaders?
So how do you rationalize that?
Advocate Junaidi. Advocate Junaidi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
No response at all from the top leaders of the Congress party who were very vocal about this narrative, of pushing this narrative of saffron terror. No word at all, no apology. So many, people have lost their precious careers. So many years have been lost for so many people. But today, absolutely no response at all, no apology to say the least.
Pardon, can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear the first part of the question.
Mr. Junaidi, I'm trying to understand that after the verdict came out yesterday, one second, now allow me to finish my question since you couldn't understand it earlier. I'm trying to ask you.
I couldn't hear that.
Okay. So can I ask you the question with your permission?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm asking you that there were certain people which we all know were pushing a narrative of saffron terror. But yesterday's verdict has demolished that particular theory completely. Why there is this conspicuous silence from their end?
The verdict which we saw yesterday, we are waiting to see what will the government take the action against it. Will they go for the appeal? The the petitioners will go for the appeal. Why? Because there are several statements of NIA officers wherein the statement I just few seconds repeated that the government directed the NIA officers to go sort with Sadhvi Pragya, and there are several things. What we feel is the investigation, the NIA has not done their part very well, and that's what the petitioner was saying. And it might be the chance of going to the higher appeal. So what we still expect is the investigation wasn't properly done, and that's what the ATS officer today said. If there was the pressure of the government, definitely it was the pressure of the ruling government till yesterday, I mean before the verdict. So what we can say is the investigation was not properly done. Why? Because the officers today, the officer comes today.
So you will not accept the mistake. You will now put the blame on the investigators. Investigation was not done properly. First, you were explaining to us the sequence of events. You were taking us back to the parliament where the Home Minister made a certain statement a day after the NIA court's verdict came out, and then you were raising questions on the insider who has spilled the beans, who has come out in open and has made some sensational revelations, and now you are putting the blame on the investigators. Fantastic. I want to give the last word to Mr. Desh Ratnakam.
See, the fact, Hina, is that this was a manufactured case right from the day one. The way they tried in the Makkah Masjid case in Hyderabad also, it was a manufactured case. The people were acquitted. The Samjhauta Express case, where the Pakistanis who were arrested were allowed to flee the country. And even in this particular case, instant case also, if you look at the entire chain of events, they were out there to defame and demean Hindus and Hindutva and to somehow blame RSS. But the truth prevailed, and truth cannot be hidden for long. And therefore, today, everybody, right from the Congress government in the state and the center and at the center at that point of time, are fully exposed about their anti-Hindutva and anti-Hindu stand and creating and coining the term saffron terror. Today it has been demolished and the truth has prevailed. And hats off to the judiciary. They went deep into it. And actually, this particular officer who did not succumb to pressure, my salute to him.
Advocate Junaidi, you were raising your hand. You wanted to say something. Yes.
The acquittal of Malegaon case and the Makkah Masjid case, you say it is the demolition of saffron terror and all. What about the Delhi case of this during Corona?
No, I want to stick to what we are discussing today. 1 second, we are talking about Malegaon blast case. You have not answered even one question properly today, Advocate Junaidi. You've been shifting the goalpost since the beginning of this debate. Now again, you want the viewers to talk about some other case. No. You have any answers on this particular issue? At least will you accept and acknowledge that there was an attempt, a concerted attempt to push a particular narrative that has been demolished, and what these witnesses, what these insiders are telling us today is something that needs to be investigated. Who were these political masters who were ensuring that, some top leaders of the RSS are caught in this particular case? A narrative is built in the country that it is saffron terror that is more dangerous, as reportedly Mr. Rahul Gandhi had also told Timothy Romer.
What I'm trying to make a point is the High Court of Delhi has quashed the FIRs against 70 people which were booked.
No, I'm not talking about that case. I'm discussing Malegaon. Do you have any answer? Do you have any answer? No, do you have an answer on the Malegaon blast case or not?
I have several answers if you let me speak.
Okay, please go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is the acquittal and the questioning of the FIR from the High Court or the Supreme Court doesn't demolish the manufactured truths.
Okay. So everybody is lying. RP Singh, in Advocate Junaidi's opinion, everybody is lying. The insiders who are coming out today, people who were literally incarcerated for so many years, everybody is lying except those who were pushing this particular agenda. RP Singh, yes.
Well, as I said, Heena, initially, they always speak in the same tone to demolish the nationalism in country. They are against the nationalist ideology in the country, and whole of this thing was fabricated only to demolish that and then to win elections. It was a political agenda, and then it was a political narrative being built to win elections and then for that they went to extent of building up a case of Hindu terror or Bhagwat terror or a saffron terror, and then it is on, it's still on. I mean, their leader Prithviraj Chauhan even yesterday said, don't talk about Bhagwat terror, but Hindu terror. We can speak about Hindu terror as a subject.
Right.
So, is the DNA of the Congress to placate to certain vote bank?
Okay.
And specific to, they think they can probably cater to a Muslim vote bank by doing so.
Okay. Okay. I'm completely out of time, but of course we'll be tracking this closely ahead as well. For now, RP Singh, Deshrata Nigam and Advocate Umair Junaidi, appreciate all for joining us here on this edition of Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. Heading into a short break.